All right, welcome to this week's version of Hoops Tracker. We are in Dallas. We are recording from the South Carolina TCU game at Dickies Arena. What a great game. Can't wait for it to kick off. But this week, week number one, we had phenomenal matchups. We had great play. Let's dive into it really quick. Jerry Howard, your host. We are Hoops Tracker, your source for Colorado girls basketball. And as we jump in, here we go. The season is here, right? We've kicked it off. We've had week number one. We have alumni news. We have some interviews. We have verbal commits. We have visits. We got rankings, games of the week. We got players. So let's dive right into it. Alumni news, Avery Van Sickle, player of the week in her conference. Ashton Prechtel um, playing overseas down under and just phenomenal points. She gets players of the week in her conference. And then Naismith watch list, right? We have Sienna Betts, we have Brianna Crittenden, two of Colorado's All-Americans on the Naismith watch list. We're really excited for them and their season, and we wish them well. All right, this week in interviews, we got, as we mentioned, we got Darren Pitzner's interviews out, Kincaid Bimler, Mike Quintana from Holy Family joins us. Be sure to be watching that interview coming out. We'll have some more coaches. Coach Kroll, we'll get him eventually. And then last week, we had some incredible games. Cherry Creek at Legend. Legend pulls away, wins that one. Loveland goes down to Frederick. Frederick beats them. A top 5A team takes on Loveland. Valor comes out swinging against Rock Canyon, and they never looked back. Great play by Quinn Van Sickle, Peyton Jones, and Riley Beers. Monarch played Pine Creek in the first round of the Horizon tournament. Pine Creek wins that. Chaparral versus Skyview. Chaparral wins that, also first round, and then best in the nest tournament. And Ralston Valley and Northfield put on a great game. Northfield edges out, or Ralston Valley edges out Northfield for the win. Santana Sabas drops 25 points in that game to lead all scorers. Then on Wednesday, Legend at Valor, number one versus number two in the Hoops Tracker poll. And it was close until the fourth quarter, and Valor just pulled away. Great game. Looking forward to seeing these teams meet again later. Broomfield beats Rock Canyon. Now remember, Broomfield's a top 10 team. They're senior heavy. They're loaded with talent. Mountain Vista on Wednesday goes into Northfield, beats Northfield. Northfield, 2 losses in 6A, but they recoup this weekend and pick up a couple more wins. A big 4A matchup early in the season, Colorado Academy at Holy Family. Holy Family wins big. And then down in Texas, and we'll talk a little bit about this, but Grandview over Bishop Gorman, one of the top teams in the country. Last year, I believe they were like in the top 5. Sienna Betts goes off with 34 points. She did a double-double. She is showing people why she's the best in the country in the 2025 class. Highlands Ranch at Fossil Ridge. Highlands Ranch, this team is loaded, and they took care of business up north. Arvada West goes to GW and wins. Meade goes down this weekend at Mountain Vista, beats Mountain Vista, and Legend on Saturday at Denver East. Crazy game. Mason Borcherdering, 21 points, leading all scorers. But Denver East has some players, and we're going to be talking about them in the future. Just keep aware. Denver East is for real, and they've got some studs. So let's do a quick review. Horizon tournament, best in the nest, Pine Creek wins that tournament, beats Chaparral. Grandview goes 3-0 in Texas. Regis goes 2-1, and we'll talk about that here in a second. Down in Pueblo County, Windsor wins over Fruita Monument in the Pueblo County tournament. And at the local Peak to Peak Puma tournament up north here in Lafayette, Delta beats Peak to Peak in the championship game. Delta is a 4A team to be dealt with. They're loaded with talent. Coach Kyle's doing a great job with his ladies. Let's jump into the rankings. There wasn't too much change. You still got Valor Legend, Cherokee Trail, and Regis. Highlands Ranch moved up a little bit. Grandview, you still got Riverdale, but we replaced that last place, that number 10 team, with Denver East. They're going to be good, and they're loaded. For 5A, we still not a whole lot of action other than I don't think we had any changes. We moved Lutheran up into the top number 9 spot. And then in 4A, Holy Family University Delta moves up, makes a big jump. Kent Denver is number 4. Colorado Academy, which lost to Holy Family, stays at 5. Skyview had a couple of they had a win against, I believe, Horizon. And then they played in the consolation bracket in that best of the nest. Peak to Peak, Dievlin, Pagosa Springs, and Eaton round up our rankings. So let's jump into our players of the week. Last week, in the first week, Brianna Crittenden goes for 40 points. Holy smoke. Now, you have to remember, Brianna Crittenden already is over 1,600 points, and she's just starting her junior year. The last 2 years, she shattered the CHSAA record for scoring in a season with 800 plus points each season. Sienna Betts in Texas, like we mentioned, goes 34 points against Bishop Gorman, has a phenomenal weekend and does a great job. And Liv Mortensen at Legacy High School, she drops 41 points, breaks a school record for the most points scored in a game. And she's in good company because at Legacy, way back, they had Gatorade Player of the Year who went down to Baylor to play, and Liv surpasses her. And so, and then Santana Sabas, the first night out against Northfield, she drops 25. She finishes the tournament in her last game, drops 35 points. She is one of the top players in the 2027 class. And then Courtney Steinkamp at Eaton goes for 24 points in a big win over Frederick, but she already has 98 points this season. Now, they've played 4 games. Most everybody else has played 3. We'll talk about that. Liv Campbell at Fruita, Rayleigh Hess at Windsor, Jane Rump at Regis all get Player of the Week this week. And then we have had our first 2 ladies hit their 1,000 points. Olivia Klein, senior at Resurrection Christian. Congratulations to her. And Brooklyn Kaiser at Vista Ridge down south gets 1,000 points. These are the first 2 this season. There's a lot more coming. We'll keep moving along. Now let's talk. We were just talking about Bree Crittenden is on track, and she's gunning for the most points ever scored in a career in the state of Colorado. She's already at 1,600. The lady that holds it is, I believe, a little over 3,000. I'll double check that record. However, she played at a small school. She was a Division I player and just rolled everybody back in the early 80s. And then Maya Abetta at Pueblo County is already at 84 points, averaging 21 points a game. Breeze at 27.7 points a game, almost 28 points a game. And then Gianna Smith, she's already racked up 79 points this season at Arapahoe, doing a great job there. Best in the nest, coach, as you send us your all tournament team, we'll post it. Brooklyn Stewart, MVP. She gets first team all tournament team. Pine Creek wins that. Lakia Burke Perryman, phenomenal job at the tournament. Lauren Thompson at Chaparral, as you see them photoed. And then Santana Sabas right here doing her little Michael Jordan impression. Doing a great job making first team. And then Aaliyah Heron at Northfield, who's a senior, who's unsigned. This young lady is one of the top players in the state in the senior class. And then Taylor Alcaraz at Fort Collins rounds out the all-tournament team. We also have Sienna Williams on honorable mention, Madison Bethel, Gabby Newby at Horizon, and Nevaeh Lucero at Skyview. All right. Let's jump into the games this week. Kicking off Tuesday night, circle this game. This game's been circled for 4 months. Riverdale at Grandview. The two All-Americans here in the state of Colorado are going to go head-to-head Tuesday night, 7 p.m. at Grandview. If you're anything in girls basketball and you're not playing, that's the game to be at. This is game of the week. This is game of the year. I'm sure these two will meet later on in the playoffs, but this is a great thing. Lutheran is going to be at Erie. Another big 4A matchup. Holy Family goes down to Denver, and Holy Family with Coach Mike Quintana gets his first big win as a head coach. On the girls' side, Arvada West goes to Monarch. Rock Canyon's at Fairview, and I believe they are in the Fairview Festival, which we will be talking about here shortly. Lutheran's at Erie. And then on Wednesday night, Roosevelt versus Kent Denver in the Cherry Creek tournament. We also have Valor at Regis, and we have Highlands Ranch at East. There's going to be some very good games this week. Thursday, we got Frederick at Palisade. I believe that's in a tournament. Mullen is coming up to Meade, and Rocky Mountain is going out to Fruita. I believe there's a big tournament out on the western slope. We'll double check that. And then Friday, Riverdale is traveling to Utah this weekend to play in a national tournament put on by Hoop Fest. Actually, the same people who are putting on the South Carolina-Utah game or TCU game, and they are going to be playing this weekend against some national competition. So we're going to see where this Riverdale team stand. Legend is going to play Windsor in the Cherry Creek tournament, and Roosevelt is also playing at Creek this weekend, a top 5A, top 6A matchup. Saturday, we've got Erie at Meade. We've got Legend at Creek in that Creek tournament, and Regis at Arapahoe. The big tournaments going on this week that we're aware of, there's actually 4. You have the Fairview Festival put on by Fairview High School. We're working on getting those brackets up. You have the Centaurus Warrior Classic up in Lafayette. You also have the Cherry Creek tournament, which will have not only just Cherry Creek, but it'll have Legend, Roosevelt, Windsor, and a few more really good teams to round that tournament out. And then up north, Eaton is hosting a big 4A tournament where they'll have Delta, they'll have Eaton, and several other key teams. Great games to watch, but definitely game of the week is Riverdale at Grandview. And we're going to see how well Riverdale is going to go against some really strong competition. This is going to be a great game. Featured in that game, you're going to have Chloe Parker and Bree Crittenden from Riverdale. On Grandview's side, you're going to have Sienna Betts, Ava Chang, who is a upcoming sophomore top point guard. And then you also have Lexi Yee, who's a junior, who's one of their top shooters. So looking forward to that. Hey, live from Dallas, we're excited to watch this TCU South Carolina game. If anyone has news, whatever, make sure you tag us, reach out. And we're looking forward to all the big games this week. This is Jerry Howard, your host, live from Dallas at Dickies Arena. We look forward to seeing everyone this week. Be safe, stay warm. Take care.